The power of silence. It is a weapon, a shield, a way of life. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, once wrote in his Meditations, "Silence is a form of self-restraint. Let it guard your soul like a fortress." Today, we dive deep into the moments where silence isn't merely golden, it's transformative. As we navigate the 10 storms of human interaction, we will find the core of what it means to practice self-control, fortitude, and inner peace. This is not a passive silence, but an active choice to transcend destructive emotions and cultivate wisdom. Silence is a way to create space for reflection and self-mastery. It is a deliberate choice to rise above the noise and distractions of life, enabling us to focus on what truly matters. Let us begin this journey together, understanding how and why silence can be a profound and transformative tool in our lives. 1. How to deal with anger. When anger rises, silence is the Stoics' first defense. Seneca, in his essay on anger, warns us, "Anger is like a fire. It burns us first, before it consumes others." Silence in the face of anger allows us to regain control over our emotions. Imagine a moment when you are insulted or treated unjustly. The immediate response might be to lash out, to defend yourself, or to return the insult. Yet, the Stoic path teaches us that reacting impulsively only adds fuel to the fire. By remaining silent, you create a pause, a gap in which you can reflect and choose a response rooted in reason and virtue, rather than in emotion. Consider the example of Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire and faced countless provocations. He chose to remain calm and measured, understanding that anger clouds judgment. Instead of giving in to the heat of the moment, Marcus advocated for looking inward. He believed that the power to control one's mind and reactions is greater than any external force. By staying silent, we reclaim our power and ensure that our actions align with our values. Silence in the face of anger is not weakness, it is strength. It is the strength to prioritize long-term peace over short-term satisfaction. It is the wisdom to know that words spoken in anger often lead to regret. As Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." In that delay, in the silence, we find clarity and peace. In practicing this, think of each moment of anger as an opportunity to build your resilience. Instead of allowing yourself to be swept away by emotional turbulence, remember the timeless truth that self-control is a form of power. When others lose themselves in their fury, your silence stands as a beacon of composure and strength. But silence is not the end of the journey. Once anger has subsided, reflect deeply on the situation. What was the source of your anger? Was it your expectations, your ego, or the words of another? The silence you cultivate allows space for such introspection, turning an emotional storm into a lesson in self-mastery. Extend this silence outward. In moments when others around you are consumed by their own anger, your silence can serve as an anchor. Your calm demeanor can influence those who might otherwise escalate a tense situation. Silence, in this way, becomes not only a personal tool, but a gift you share with others. Silence also serves as a prelude to wise action. After the storm of anger has passed, deliberate on how to address the situation constructively. This kind of silence is not avoidance, it is preparation. By responding with thoughtfulness, you demonstrate mastery over yourself and the situation. In addition, silence provides a path to forgiveness. When we quiet our minds, we can begin to empathize with the sources of anger, perhaps a misunderstanding, or the personal struggles of the other party. Forgiveness, born from silence, allows us to release the emotional burden anger imposes and move forward with clarity. Finally, The silence we embrace in anger serves as a legacy. Those who observe our calm in moments of fury are inspired by our example. Our silence becomes a lesson, teaching others that anger is not an opponent to defeat, but a force to master. 2. When faced with unfairness. Life is inherently unfair, and Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. When wronged, remain silent, not out of weakness, but as an assertion of your strength. Speaking in haste often leads to regret. Instead, let your actions, measured, deliberate, reflect your integrity. To be silent in the face of unfairness does not mean to accept injustice passively. Instead, it is a refusal to let external circumstances dictate your inner state. Imagine a scenario where you are overlooked for a promotion or accused of something you did not do. The natural impulse might be to argue, to defend yourself vehemently. However, the Stoic path suggests a different approach. Marcus Aurelius believed that we cannot control the actions of others, only our response to them. When faced with unfairness, silence becomes a space for reflection. It allows us to evaluate whether the injustice is worth our energy. Often, our silence speaks louder than words. It demonstrates that our character is unshaken, that our sense of self-worth is not dependent on external validation. Moreover, silence gives us the opportunity to respond with action rather than reaction. Instead of arguing with those who wrong us, we can focus on living in a way that aligns with our values. Over time, our integrity will shine through, and the truth will become evident. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. When silence is paired with purposeful action, it transforms unfairness into an opportunity for growth. Each instance of injustice becomes a lesson in patience, self-restraint, and the unshakable strength of character. Overcoming such challenges with dignity elevates not only ourselves, but also those who witness our example. Furthermore, the silence you practice allows you to choose your battles wisely. Not every act of unfairness deserves your attention. Focus your energy on the greater goals of life, letting the petty grievances fade into the background. In this, silence becomes a strategy for maintaining focus on what truly matters. Silence in unfair situations also forces us to look inward. Are there areas where our expectations might have been unrealistic? By examining our own role in the situation, we can adjust our mindset and strengthen our resilience. When we move beyond the initial sting of unfairness, we gain clarity and grow in wisdom. Finally, your silence becomes a form of resistance, a quiet but firm assertion that your peace of mind cannot be disturbed by the actions of others. It communicates to the world that you are guided by principles, not provocations. In addition, silence in the face of unfairness provides a foundation for reconciliation. By refraining from immediate retaliation, you leave the door open for resolution. Unfairness often stems from misunderstanding, and silence creates space for clarity to emerge. Let your silence demonstrate the depth of your character and your commitment to peace over conflict. Lastly, silence in these moments creates a ripple effect. Others observing your calm will reflect on their own behavior, potentially reconsidering their actions. Your silence becomes a mirror, reflecting the virtues of patience and inner strength to the world around you. 3. Navigating the storm of insults. Insults are but empty echoes in the Stoics' ears. Epictetus reminds us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When insulted, the Stoic remains silent, for responding only fuels the fire. The true measure of a person is not how they lash back, but how they endure with dignity. Imagine being confronted with sharp words or cutting remarks. The instinctive reaction may be to defend yourself or to retaliate with equal harshness. Yet such reactions often escalate conflicts and entangle you in unnecessary emotional turmoil. The Stoic instead sees insults for what they truly are, projections of the insulter's state of mind, rather than reflections of your worth. Consider the legendary composure of Socrates, who was insulted countless times by his detractors. He would either respond with wit or remain entirely silent, leaving his tormentors perplexed and powerless. His silence demonstrated not indifference, but an unshakable confidence in his values. By refusing to engage, he preserved his peace of mind, while subtly disarming his critics. Silence in the face of insults allows you to maintain your composure and clarity. When you do not react, you create an atmosphere of stillness that can often diffuse the situation. More importantly, this silence reinforces your inner strength, affirming that your sense of self-worth is not dictated by the fleeting opinions of others. Use these moments of insult as opportunities for introspection. Is there a kernel of truth in the words that stung you? If so, let the silence guide you toward improvement. If not, let it strengthen your resolve to rise above the pettiness. In either case, silence becomes your teacher and protector. When practiced consistently, silence transforms your perspective on insults. Words that once ignited anger or hurt begin to lose their power over you. You come to see that most insults are born from ignorance, insecurity, or misunderstanding. By meeting them with silence, you choose not to perpetuate the cycle of negativity. Extend this practice outward. When you witness others being insulted, let your silence be a source of solidarity and wisdom. Resist the urge to join the fray or escalate the situation. Instead, embody the calm that inspires others to reflect before they act. In this way, your silence not only protects your own peace, but also uplifts those around you. Finally, silence in these moments becomes a statement of resilience. It communicates to the world that you are unshaken by the judgments of others, that your worth is defined by your character and not by the fleeting words of criticism. This silent strength, rooted in Stoic principles, serves as a beacon of dignity and self-mastery. 4. Dealing with gossip. Gossip thrives in noise, but it withers in silence. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." The Stoic does not lower themselves by engaging in petty talk. When others gossip, hold your tongue and your ground. Imagine standing among colleagues or friends as rumors and speculations swirl around you. The temptation to join in, to contribute your opinion, or to listen eagerly can be strong. Yet, the Stoic understands that gossip is a double-edged sword. It harms both the subject and the participant. Remaining silent when gossip arises demonstrates restraint and integrity. It sends a powerful message. You refuse to feed the cycle of negativity. More importantly, it preserves your energy for matters of greater significance. As Epictetus reminds us, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Gossip, being entirely outside our influence, is not worth our time or attention. By refraining from gossip, you set a higher standard for yourself and those around you. Your silence becomes an invitation for others to reflect on the futility of idle chatter. It encourages them to redirect their focus toward meaningful conversations and actions. Gossip is often fueled by insecurity or jealousy. Recognizing this, the Stoic chooses not to judge those who engage in it, but to model a better way. Your silence in these moments is not only an act of self-discipline, but also a form of quiet leadership. You demonstrate, though, that true strength lies in choosing substance over superficiality. Furthermore, silence in the face of gossip protects your reputation. Those who observe your restraint will come to see you as a person of integrity and wisdom, someone who does not waste words on trivial matters. Over time, this perception becomes a cornerstone of trust, opening doors to deeper and more meaningful relationships. Reflect also on the times you may have been tempted to gossip. Silence offers an opportunity to examine your motivations. Are you seeking validation, distraction, or a sense of superiority? By addressing these impulses, you cultivate self-awareness and strengthen your commitment to Stoic principles. Finally, silence in these moments is an act of kindness. By refusing to participate in gossip, you protect the dignity of those who cannot defend themselves. Your silence becomes a shield, guarding against the harm that idle words can cause. It is a small but significant way to contribute to a more compassionate and thoughtful world. 5. When being criticized unfairly. Unfair criticism is a test of your resolve. Marcus Aurelius would remind us, if it is true, correct yourself. If it is not, then let it go. When criticized unjustly, silence speaks volumes. Do not defend yourself to those unwilling to understand. Imagine facing harsh words from a colleague, a friend, or even a stranger. Your initial instinct might be to argue, to justify your actions, or to prove them wrong. But the Stoic understands that not all battles are worth fighting. Silence in these moments is a choice to protect your peace rather than expend it on fruitless disputes. Silence in the face of unfair criticism creates space for discernment. Is there any truth in the critique? If so, let it guide you toward growth. If not, let it pass without attachment. By refusing to react impulsively, you assert control over your emotions and your narrative. Unfair criticism often reveals more about the critic than the subject. It may stem from their insecurities, frustrations, or misunderstandings. Recognizing this, the Stoic meets such words with compassion rather than hostility. Your silence becomes a reflection of your inner strength, showing that you are not swayed by the judgments of others. Moreover, silence in these moments allows you to focus on what truly matters, your character and your actions. Instead of engaging in arguments, channel your energy into living with integrity. Let your life be your response. Over time, those who truly observe you will see the truth of your intentions and values. Silence also protects you from the trap of over-explaining. When faced with unfair criticism, attempting to justify yourself repeatedly can often reinforce the critic's stance. By remaining silent, you avoid entangling yourself in unnecessary debates and preserve your dignity. Extend this practice to your inner dialogue. Unfair criticism can sometimes plant seeds of doubt within us. Use silence as a tool to quiet these doubts, reminding yourself of your worth and your commitment to growth. Reflect on the Stoic belief that external opinions do not define us. Our actions and virtues do. Finally, remember that silence in the face of unfair criticism is not a retreat, but a stance. It communicates confidence, resilience, and self-respect. Those who observe your calm will be inspired by your ability to rise above pettiness. Your silence becomes a testament to your strength and your unwavering commitment to the Stoic way. 6. How to deal with loss. In the shadow of loss, silence is the Stoic solace. Do not lament for what is lost, Marcus Aurelius wrote, for what is gone was never truly yours. Grief is a natural response to loss, but excessive mourning clouds the mind, and weakens the spirit. Silence is not about suppressing grief, but creating a space for its honest acknowledgement and gradual release. Imagine the passing of a loved one, the loss of a career opportunity, or the end of a cherished chapter in life. These moments test our resilience, often leaving us overwhelmed with emotions. The Stoic approach to silence invites us to sit with these feelings without being consumed by them. Silence, in this sense, becomes a sacred pause, a moment to breathe, reflect, and center ourselves amidst the chaos. Reflect on Epictetus's wisdom. It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Loss, though painful, is a reminder of life's impermanence. By embracing silence, we create room to shift our perspective. Instead of clinging to what is gone, we can focus on gratitude for what was and accept the inevitability of change. Silence also offers an opportunity for self-realignment. Loss often challenges our sense of identity or purpose. In the stillness of silence, we can rediscover our inner strength and clarity. It allows us to ask important questions. What can I learn from this? How can I grow? What truly matters to me now? Extend this practice to others. When those around us are grieving, our silent presence can be more comforting than words. Often, there is nothing we can say to alleviate their pain, but our willingness to share their silence speaks volumes. It conveys understanding, solidarity, and compassion. Silence in times of loss is not an escape, but a profound act of courage. It shows a willingness to face the depth of our emotions without distraction or denial. Through this process, we emerge stronger, wiser, and more attuned to the transient beauty of life. Finally, let us remember that silence is a bridge. It connects us to the past with reverence, to the present with mindfulness, and to the future with hope. In this way, loss becomes not an end, but a transformation. 7. When people brag, the Stoics keep quiet. The boastful seek validation, but the Stoic seeks truth. It is not the opinion of others that defines you, Marcus Aurelius stated, but your opinion of yourself. When faced with arrogance or self-promotion, silence is a shield that guards your peace and your focus. Imagine a gathering where someone constantly dominates the conversation, flaunting their achievements or possessions. The instinctive response might be to counter with your own accomplishments or to subtly undermine theirs. However, the Stoic recognizes that engaging in this battle of egos only detracts from inner peace. Silence in the face of bragging is not about submission or agreement. It is a deliberate choice to remain grounded and centered. By refusing to engage, you signal that your worth is not tied to external validation or comparison. This silence disarms the boastful, who often rely on reactions to fuel their narrative. Consider how Epictetus approached this. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. The Stoic focuses not on outward appearances, but on inward growth. Your silence in such moments reflects a commitment to values over vanity. Use these instances as opportunities to practice humility. Let the boastful words of others remind you of the transient nature of achievements and possessions. In silence, reflect on what truly defines success and fulfillment. This quiet introspection strengthens your resolve to live authentically, free from the need for approval. Furthermore, silence in the face of bragging fosters a sense of compassion. Often, those who boast are seeking reassurance or masking insecurities. By not reacting, you offer them a chance to reflect on their motivations. Your silence becomes a subtle but powerful invitation for them to look inward. Finally, silence allows you to preserve your energy for meaningful pursuits. Instead of being drawn into superficial exchanges, You remain focused on your goals and values. Over time, this discipline reinforces your inner strength and inspires others to follow your example. 8. How to get through the seas of ignorance with Stoic grace. Ignorance is a storm that tests the Stoics' patience. Epictetus reminds us, it is impossible to learn what one thinks one already knows. Arguing with ignorance is often futile, as it breeds frustration and drains your energy. Silence, however, is a powerful tool for navigating these turbulent waters. Imagine engaging in a conversation with someone who refuses to listen or acknowledge different perspectives. The temptation to correct them or assert your viewpoint can be strong. Yet, the Stoic recognizes that wisdom is not found in winning arguments, but in maintaining inner peace. Silence in the face of ignorance is an act of self-restraint and wisdom. By not engaging, you avoid escalating conflict and preserve your emotional equilibrium. This silence also creates space for reflection. Is this battle worth fighting? Will my words make a difference, or will they fall on deaf ears? Consider Marcus Aurelius's advice. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. This principle encourages us to approach ignorance with understanding rather than judgment. Silence becomes a way to practice patience and empathy, recognizing that everyone is on their own journey of learning. Moreover, silence allows you to lead by example. When you refrain from arguing, you demonstrate confidence and poise. This quiet strength often speaks louder than words, inspiring others to reconsider their stance or approach. Use these moments as opportunities for growth. Ignorance, though challenging, can teach us humility and perspective. By remaining silent, we acknowledge that our understanding too is limited. This openness to learning fosters a deeper connection to wisdom and truth. Finally, remember that silence is not surrender. It is a strategic choice to prioritize peace and growth over conflict. In the seas of ignorance, silence becomes your anchor, keeping you steady and aligned with the Stoic ideals of patience, wisdom, and self-control. 9. The art of silence for Stoics during false rumors. False rumors are a fire that burns itself out if left unfed. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom shines here. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When faced with lies and slander, silence becomes a shield, deflecting their power and protecting your integrity. Imagine hearing that someone has spread falsehoods about you. The instinctive response may be to confront the accuser or to publicly refute the rumor. But the Stoic sees a greater path in restraint. Silence, in this context, is not weakness but strength. It demonstrates confidence in the truth and faith that over time, the reality will prevail. Consider how Socrates, falsely accused of corrupting the youth of Athens, approached his trial with calm dignity. He spoke only when necessary, choosing his words with precision and leaving much unsaid. His restraint revealed a deep trust in his character and philosophy. Similarly, your silence can communicate that you value your principles more than fleeting opinions. False rumors thrive on attention. By refusing to engage, you starve them of the energy they need to spread. Your silence also prevents escalation, ensuring that you are not drawn into petty conflicts. Instead of reacting impulsively, focus on your actions. Live in a way that consistently demonstrates your integrity and disproves the falsehoods without words. This approach requires patience and fortitude. It is not easy to endure the sting of lies, but silence offers a path to growth. Reflect on the Stoic principle that external events do not define us. It is our response that matters. Use this as an opportunity to cultivate resilience and to reaffirm your commitment to living with virtue. Silence in the face of false rumors also teaches us the value of trusting the process of time. Truth, like a steady stream, carves its way through even the hardest stone. By maintaining your silence, you align yourself with this inevitable flow. Let your actions speak louder than any words you could muster. Finally, silence becomes a form of transcendence. It lifts you above the chaos of rumors, allowing you to remain focused on what truly matters. In this way, silence is not merely a reaction, but a proactive stance, a commitment to rise above negativity and to embody the Stoic ideals of dignity and self-control. 10. Accepting silence when things aren't certain. Uncertainty is the natural state of life. Marcus Aurelius counseled, "Be content to live in the present." When clarity is absent, silence becomes a space for reflection and patience. It is an acknowledgement that not all answers are immediate, and not all actions are necessary. Imagine facing a decision with incomplete information, or navigating a situation where the outcome is unclear. The temptation may be to speak, to act, or to demand resolution. Yet the Stoic understands that silence in these moments is not inactivity, but intentionality. It is a pause that allows us to observe, think, and align our choices with reason. Silence during uncertainty is an act of humility. It reminds us that we do not control all variables and that rushing forward can often lead to greater confusion. By remaining silent, we give ourselves the gift of time, a chance to gather more information, to weigh our options, and to act with clarity when the moment is right. Consider the wisdom of Epictetus. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In moments of uncertainty, silence becomes a way to live this principle. It shifts the focus from external validation to internal alignment. Instead of seeking immediate answers, we learn to trust the process of inquiry and reflection. Moreover, silence in these moments cultivates resilience. Life is unpredictable, and certainty is often an illusion. By embracing silence, we develop the ability to remain steady amidst the unknown. This steadiness, rooted in Stoic practice, becomes a source of strength, not only for ourselves, but also for those who look to us. For guidance, use these moments of silence to reconnect with your values. What is truly important? What can you control? What is beyond your influence? By reflecting on these questions, you create a foundation of clarity and purpose that can guide you through uncertainty. Finally, silence becomes a gateway to acceptance. It teaches us to let go of the need for immediate resolution and to find peace in the present moment. In doing so, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, embracing its uncertainties with grace and wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In the art of silence, we find a profound strength, a strength that shields us from anger, injustice, insults, and uncertainty. It is a strength that elevates us above the petty noise of the world and aligns us with the eternal wisdom of the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca all remind us that silence is not the absence of action, but the presence of intention. Through silence, we mature ourselves. We learn to navigate life's storms with dignity, resilience, and grace. We embody the virtues of patience, humility, and wisdom, becoming beacons of calm in a chaotic world. Our silence speaks louder than words, showing that true power lies not in dominance, but in self-restraint. Let us carry this lesson forward. Let us choose silence not as an escape, but as a path to clarity and purpose. Let our silence reflect our values and our commitment to a life well lived. For in silence, we do not retreat, we rise above. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Let silence guide you to that strength, and let it be your greatest ally on the journey to wisdom.